And I think Graham is going to be very upset about this Portland race for a long time, and Lundgaard as well, because again, the strategy didn't play out. And that's just what's so difficult about these IndyCar races sometimes. Several folks got quite lucky with the way that strategy played out. Several folks took advantage of several different situations that played out. You had the situation where they didn't call the yellow, so Rosenquist could pit, basically guaranteeing him a spot on the podium. That was something that looking at it there, I mean, Scott Dixon, what I find most interesting is Scott Dixon, I think, hates the IndyCar stewards. I think he is the most vocal person about what they are doing and the decisions that they are making. Now, look, if I said anything, no one really takes my opinion seriously. If even several other drivers said anything about, decisions that are made, probably not taken as seriously. But if Scott Dixon is that, voicey, that boisterous over the fact that, hey, we got to make decisions on people blocking, wrecking each other, or yellow flags are called, because Canapino was in a dangerous place there too. And I had this in my notes to talk about, but I think there needs to be some more consistency, especially, the yellow thing is a different situation. They've talked about that before, and I don't want to throw them under the bus for that, because they've talked about how they don't want to, call a yellow immediately, and then some people get even more lucky. But this is IndyCar racing. There's going to be yellows, and you got to call them for safety. Like, that's just how it works. So it's interesting to see how vocal Scott Dixon is about that.
Football's back in full swing with another week of epic games. And who's got you covered on the action for every single one of them? DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers can bet $5 on football and get $200 instantly in bonus bets.
Nobody's missing out on the action this season. All DraftKings customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every game this September. Get in on the NFL Week 2 action with DraftKings Sportsbook.
Download the app now and use code SPEEDSTREET to sign up. New customers can bet just $5 and take home $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code SPEEDSTREET. The crown is yours.
What's the process? What would the process be for improvement on that? Or is that just come down to like end of season review, kind of like, in the NFL or the NBA, where they get like the officiating report, the final 2-minute report, and it says, oh, after looking at this, the referee missed this call. This was not the right call. Like, what's that process?
Well, Kyle Novak and Max Pappas, Ari Leindijk, like they always are walking around talking to us as the drivers. And so, I got to give them credit for listening to us. I would say there's been several drivers meetings where some of the information that we say to them, they actively, respond to it and say, hey, if you guys want to do it that way, we'll do it that way. You know what I mean? But I think sometimes drivers definitely need that stern leader that says, you know what, I'm not going to deal with your you guys' crap, but we're going to go with this because this is in the rule book. But there are some things that there are rules about contact. There are rules about blocking. There are rules about certain things. Alex Palou not getting a penalty for blocking, but Kyle Kirkwood getting a penalty for blocking. Is that, how does that work? You know what I mean? Like, I would love to see there are several situations. I got a penalty last year for blocking Grosjean, and Grosjean came up to me after the race. He's like, you didn't block me. I was like, I know. But then there's some video and the stewards are like, well, you see, you did this. And that's like, yes, but that's not like, there's way worse stuff that happens. So it has to be consistent if you're going to even make calls like that, because realistically, no matter who gets penalized, it sucks, right? You saw Colton Herta with a speeding penalty. That's just black and white. But having a penalty that's either sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, then it just makes you question everything that you're doing. So I will give the stewards credit, and they will try to, they will try to listen to us and say, hey, if something needs to be changed, let's talk about it. But there's definitely a lot this year that I hope is looked at over the offseason and said, hey, you know what? if we are a championship that follows rules, if we are a championship that doesn't necessarily, we don't follow the same mantra as NASCAR, right? Like NASCAR, there are no rules, right? Like if you wreck someone intentionally, you know, and you talk about it on a podcast, which we've heard about before, they take away points, right? But they're not taking away anything in the middle of the race. They're not penalizing anyone really, and they just kind of leave it to the drivers to to battle it out. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I do personally think that something needs to be done to either reinforce the rules or make sure all the drivers are aware that, hey, there are rules.
Yeah, because it's been a year-long thing. I mean, I remember as far as going back to Long Beach in April. When he had the Paolo and Scott Dixon incident, it really kind of,
and that's what started getting Scott so mad. Like that's why he is still angry, because it's completely deservedly so.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's just looking like you said about this Portland race. I mean, we've seen Pelot there now go off the track and lap 1 and then make his way back to win. And then you see him and he wins by 10 seconds this year. And it's just been one of those years for him. It's like, what really can he do wrong? There's not really a whole lot that Alex Pelot can do wrong, especially when, all of a sudden you were getting sued by 2 different people and now you're going to end up in still the best seat in the sport. So it's just kind of breaking his will.
Yeah, I mean there was a lot that he can be proud of. I mean, he is the champion. He could have almost been champion, with 2 races to go, but still goes into the last weekend with the championship, and that's impressive. Lots of stats about how young he is and how he's a double champion already. But we got to congratulate him for sure. He deserves it.